That's the Baby Brownie. It's 620 film. It makes a little 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 print. Brownie. It has 1 speed and 1 f-stop. You had to get the conditions right for this. You didn't make the conditions right by using different means. This gave you a fixed focus. This is about the second stage. The first stage was a little bitty camera, wasn't any bigger than this, and the film on it was about 1 inch square. But this is what I went through school with until I got to senior high school. Got into a camera like this, which is just a 120 film, which is the same film you get into the best cameras. This also is synchronized. You could hook a flash up to it. You could take your vertical pictures, swivel your viewer, and make a horizontal picture. You had speed that would go from time to 100th of a second, which was pretty good. And then I had to go into 35, which is the same size, not the same camera. This was too expensive back then for me to use. But I could use 36 pictures in that one without reloading, which is great. I even used this camera clear up through my wedding picture stage. When you got into 35 millimeter, then you could go from a macro lens, one lens, macro shooting, up to infinity. You can go from a time exposure, open flash, anywhere from a 500th of a second up to limitless. But you could get 36 pictures on that. You didn't have to reload it. If you just had 2 cameras, you could shoot 72. But when you really get into professional and you want to make your living with it, you had to have the best. And this, as far as I'm concerned, was the best at that time. This is the Hasselblad made in Sweden. This is a portrait lens on this one. You can get the 50 millimeter or 80 millimeter, 150 millimeter. You can take any kind of condition by hooking a flash on it. Limitless possibilities. And the Hasselblad gives you a 2 1/4, 2 1/4 negative, but I could blow it out to a 16 by 20 with no trouble at all. That's where I made my reputation with. I used to say, my name is Harold Cline. Half camera will travel. I started out shooting pictures when I was 12 years old back in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I had my name was Harold, but the man at the counter misconstrued and he called me Aero, A-E-R-O. And for all the years that I run through that place, I was Aero, not Harold.